Good morning, student. Today we will discuss about the differentiator. So, differentiator is a circuit which differentiates the input. So, here there are two types of differentiator. One is the active differentiator and one is the passive differentiator. The active differentiator is that where we are using an active element like operational amplifier. So, that is nothing but the active differentiator. So, today we are discussing about the active differentiator, and the second one is the passive differentiator where we cannot use an active component like operational amplifier. So in active differentiator we are using operational amplifier, that is 7 for 1. So this is nothing but a generalized circuit diagram of the differentiator. This is plus VCC, this is minus VCC. So at the input side we are connecting one capacitor, and a feedback is fed back through the RF, that is RF resistance. That is, this is nothing but a feedback resistance connected to the VA point, and this is nothing but a VA which is provided to the operational amplifier by using one capacitor. So simply this is nothing but the ideal differentiator. This is called an ideal differentiator circuit. Now here we are assuming some current, that is current flowing through V is nothing but the I1, and current flowing through this RF is nothing but the I. So these two current are current flowing through capacitor and current flowing through the resistance RF. So let us start with the equation. So current flowing through this is nothing but the I1. So first point is, that is current I1 is as, so we can calculate as I1 is equals to what? What is I1? I1 is nothing but the C, that is C1 into. So current I1 is nothing but the capacitor C1 into differentiation of the voltages available across the capacitor. So this is nothing but a Vin and this is nothing but a Va. So we can write as Vin minus Va divided by dt. So this is nothing but a generalized formula for the current flowing through the capacitor. So there is C1 is nothing but a capacitor C1, and differentiation of the voltage across that capacitor. So the voltage across the capacitor is nothing but the voltage available at this point and voltage available at this point. So Vin minus Va. So now in general condition for the operational amplifier, we are assuming that current flowing through this through the input side is, we are assuming it will be a 0, and voltage appearing at this point is nothing but the voltage appearing at the non-inverting terminal. So we are here assuming that this voltage is equals to 0, or we are make it as a ground. So Va is equals to Vb. So we directly can make a comment that this voltage must be equals to 0. So we can write down here, that is I1 is equals to C1 differentiation of input with respect to time, input voltage, that is, this is nothing but the equation 1. So next point, so next current is nothing but the I1. So what is I1? I1 is nothing but the, again how we are doing this can be directly calculated by using the Ohm's law. That is, what says Ohm's law? The voltage difference. So voltage difference is nothing but the Va minus, this is nothing but the VO. So Va minus VO divided by resistance, that is RF. So we can directly write down as, this is I. So we can directly write as I is equals to minus VO by RF. As this Va is equals to 0, we are assuming it will be a 0. Now this is nothing but the equation number 2. Now generalize for the ideal operational amplifier, or for the operational amplifier we assume that current flowing through the inverting and non-inverting terminal is equals to 0. So that condition is nothing but the one of the characteristics of the operational amplifier. That's why these two current I1 and I must be equal. So equation 1 is equals to equation 2, because the current flowing through this inverting terminal is equals to 0. So whatever current flowing through the capacitor, the same current will flow through the resistance RF. That's why equation 1 equals to equation 2. So we can write down as C1 dV in divided by dt is equals to minus VO by RF. So this can be right from equation number 1 and equation number 2. So from this we directly calculate the output voltage, that is VO. VO is equals to what? So VO is nothing but the minus RF C1 dV in by dt. So this is nothing but the output voltage of this circuit. That is, output voltage is equals to negative RF into C1 dV in by dt. It means that what is this ddt? This is nothing but a differentiation of what? Differentiation of the input signal. This is nothing but the input. So we are just taking a differentiation of the input, and this RF and C1 is nothing but the multiplication factor. This is nothing but the multiplication factor. Or in other words, we can say this is nothing but the gain. And this negative sign indicates the phase change. Phase change by 180 degree. So from this equation we make a comment that what is output of this circuit or output of the differentiator circuit? The output of the differentiator circuit is nothing but the minus RF C1, which is nothing but this is nothing but a phase shift of 180, and this is nothing but the gain. What is the gain of this differentiator? It is RF into C1 and differentiation of the input signal. So ultimately differentiator is what? Differentiator is nothing but the circuit which differentiate the input signal with gain of RF C1 with 180 phase shift. So this is all about the generalized formula for output voltage of the differentiator circuit. So this is nothing but a generalized ideal differentiator circuit. Now there are some problems while using this type of differentiator circuit. Now at very high frequency, generally this ideal differentiator circuit will work on all the frequencies starting from 1 Hz to kilohertz or megahertz up to megahertz. But at high frequency there are some problems. The problems are nothing but at high frequency it may possible that a noise will be introduced, and if noise is introduced if noise is introduced, what happen? A noise will overcome this input signal, that is differentiation of the input signal. So that is nothing but one of the disadvantage of the ideal differentiator circuit. So practically some changes will be done in the ideal differentiator. So for practical differentiator, in this case we have to connect one capacitor across or in parallel with this RF, and one resistance will be connected in series with this CF, that is C1. This is V, this is what? R1, and this is what? CF, and this is VA, and this is C1. So this is nothing but now this circuit is called a practical differentiator. Because of high frequency, at a high frequency it may introduce some noise. That's why we have to make some correction in ideal differentiator. This is called a practical differentiator circuit. In practical differentiator circuit we have to make two changes. First change is nothing but we have to connect one capacitor in parallel with the feedback resistance RF, that is nothing but a CF. And second change we have to connect R1 in series with the input capacitor C1. So these two changes will be done in practical differentiator. So this is what the practical differentiator circuit. So whatever problem we have to solve, that is based on the practical differentiator. Now there are some stages to solve the practical differentiator circuit. So let us start with the step for designing a practical differentiator. Now, first step is nothing but the steps for design and practical differentiator. First of all, first step is nothing but the first step. We have to assume whatever is the highest frequency mentioned in the problem, that we have to assume as FA. FA is nothing but the highest frequency. Highest frequency which is mentioned in the problem, and that FA must be equals to 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1. Actually, this is nothing but the actual frequency, that is FA. FA that we have to assume FA is equals to 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1. So that formula I already write here. That is FA is what? It is highest frequency mentioned in the problem, and its value is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1. Next stage, after this we have to assume one condition. We have to assume C1 is less than 1 microfarad. Either we can take as C1 is equals to 1 microfarad, or we can assume C1 is equals to 0.1 microfarad, 0.01 microfarad. You can select any value of the capacitor C1. Next step is, third step, we have to assume that third step, FA must be less than FB is less than FC. Now here we have to assume FA is less than FB, so we have to assume FB is equals to 10 times the FA. That condition we have to assume while designing an practical differentiator, that is FB is equals to 10 times of the FA, because FA is, we already know, for example, if FA is equals to 10 Hz, then FB is nothing but the 10 into 10 Hz, that is equals to 100 Hz. This is nothing but a simple example that FB is nothing but a 10 times the FA. So FA will be this, that is 10 into FA. So we get FB is equals to 100. Now the formula for FB is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi. 1 upon 2 pi, we have to just replace this RF by R1 into C1. So this is what the formula for R1 FB, that is 1 upon 2 pi R1 into C1. Now this is nothing but the third stage. Fourth stage is what? Fourth stage, we know that R1 into C1 is equals to RF into CF. Now from first step, now look at the component, how we have to select the component. First, we know the C1. We know in problem statement it is mentioned the highest frequency. So from this formula we know the value of FA. We assume the value of capacitor C1. So we can easily find out the value of RF. So first formula FA, RF and C1, we directly calculate the value of RF by using this C1 and FA. Next step is what? FB. FB is equals to what? 1 upon 2 pi R1 C1. So we know the value of FB. FB is equal to 10 times of the FA, and we know the value of C1. So we directly calculate the value of R1. The remaining component is nothing but the only CF. So by this formula, R1 into C1, because we already calculate the R1 here, C1 we assume C1 is less than equals to 1 microfarad, so we know the value of R1 C1, and RF we already calculate from the above formula, so only one unknown is nothing but the CF. So from this fourth step we directly get the value of CF. So from this circuit, that is differentiator circuit, we get the value of R1, we get the value of C1, we get the value of CF, and we get the value of RF. So one another change is done in this circuit diagram or in practical differentiator. We have to connect one compensating resistance. We have to connect one compensating resistance across this non-inverting terminal, and this compensating resistance, that is RCOM, is equals to R1 parallel to RF. So here a fifth stage of designing an differentiator, that is R compensating is nothing but the R1 parallel to RF. Now we know the value of R1, we know the value of RF. So by this formula we directly calculate the value of RF. So this is nothing but a generalized step. So to design any differentiator circuit, we must know these 5 stages. If you know the 5 stages, you can design any differentiator, that is practical differentiator. So we go for the first problem. So I just keep this diagram as it is because the diagram for all differentiator is same. This is nothing but a generalized diagram for any differentiator. Either if you want a fixed frequency differentiator or variable frequency differentiator, the circuit diagram for the differentiator is same, that is common. So first problem is design a practical differentiator circuit that will differentiate an input signal of f max is equals to 150 Hz. That we have to design a practical differentiator circuit where f max is given as 150 Hz. So what is the problem statement? That we have to design a practical differentiator having maximum frequency of f max is equals to 150 Hz. So ultimately we have to design a differentiator for maximum frequency of 150 Hz. So first step is what? Remember the first stage. First step. What is the first step? That first step is nothing but whatever highest frequency mentioned in the problem, that we have to assume it as an FA. So we directly write down here, that is FA is equals to f max is equals to 150 Hz. So this is nothing but the first step, that is FA is equals to maximum frequency, that is 150 Hz. Now we know the formula for FA. What is FA? FA is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi RF C1. So this is nothing but a formula. After that, again we have to assume that C1 you can select any value up to 1 microfarad. Either you can select 1 microfarad or you can select 0.1 microfarad. Let us assume that C1 is nothing but the 1 microfarad. Here we have to select, or we can assume or we can say select a C1 as 1 microfarad. That is to be assumption. You may take this as 0.1 microfarad, or you can take 0.01 microfarad, you can take 1 microfarad. If according to the capacitor value, the remaining component value, that is RF, CF and R1, that value is changed because it depends on the assumption. What we are assuming, that is capacitor C1. Here I am assuming C1 as 1 microfarad. So from this formula, FA is nothing but 150 Hz. So we can write down as equation 1 implies 150 is equals to 1 upon 2 pi RF into, what is the capacitor? 1 into 10 raised to power minus 6. So from this we directly calculate the value of RF. So RF is nothing but the 1.06 kilo ohm. RF is nothing but the 1.06 kilo ohm. So if the problem is related to the differentiator, first step is to directly draw the circuit diagram. So circuit diagram is as, that is it contains the R1, it contains the C1, it contains the RF and CF. So this is nothing but a generalized circuit diagram for the differentiator. I directly start with the problem because circuit diagram we already discussed. That's why I am directly starting with the problem. So from this we get the two values. That is, first value is nothing but the RF. What is the RF value? RF is nothing but the 1.06. So we can write down here 1.06K. And what is the value of C1? C1 is nothing but the 1 microfarad. So C1 is nothing but the 1 microfarad. So next step is what? What is the next step? So next step is nothing but the select FB. So FB is nothing but 10 times the FA. So what is FA? FA is nothing but the maximum frequency 150. So here 1500 Hertz is nothing but the FB. So what is the third step? Third step is nothing but the formula for FB. FB is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi. 1 upon 2 pi R1 into C1. So for this formula, we know the value of FB. FB is 1500. We know the value of capacitor C1. It is assumed to be 1 microfarad. Only one unknown is R1. So we can directly write down as this equation 1500 Hertz is equals to 1 upon 2 pi into R1 into C1 is what? 1 into 10 raised to power minus n, because it is assumed that this value is nothing but the 1 microfarad. So that is 1 microfarad. So from this we get the value of R1. What is the value of R1? We directly calculate as R1 is nothing but the 106.1 kilo 106.1 ohm. So this is nothing but the value of R1. So we directly write down as 106.1 ohm. So this is value of R1. So from this circuit, we up to this we get the three values, that is R1, C1, RF. Now there are two unknowns, that is one is CF and last one is the R compensity. Now fourth step is what? We have to assume, that is designing step is assume. What do we have to assume? We have to assume R1 C1 is equals to RF CF. Now out of this we know the value of R1, we know the value of C1, we know the value of RF. Only unknown is CF. So we can write down as CF is equals to R1 C1 divided by RF. So what is the value of R1? R1 is 106.1 ohm. What is the value of capacitor C1? It is 1 into 10 raised to power minus C, that is 1 microfarad. And what is the value of RF? RF is nothing but 106 kilo ohm, that is 10 raised to power 3. So this is the value of CF. By calculator you just calculate it. The value of capacitor, that is CF is equals to 0.1 microfarad. That is